Mm.
Hello, everyone. This is young leader Blake Henderson. Just before we get into today's show, we have a trivia night coming up tomorrow night. In the description of this chat, please, if you would like to participate, $15 per person or in the team. They can't see you dancing at the moment, Tanya, because it's on the screen. But
Oh,
please have a look at the information down below, and we'll get right into the show. Hello, everyone. As I said earlier, my name is young leader Blake Henderson. I hope you are doing well on this fine night. Joining me tonight for the Citizens for Recovery podcast is my co-host, all the way from Sydney, is Tanya Davis. Tanya, how are you?
I'm good, Blake. How are you going?
I'm good, thank you. You're a bit delayed there, but we'll be right. Also joining me is Talking City's extraordinary producer. I say this every week, Matt McAdoo. Matt, how are you?
I'm good, Blake. As I say every week, it's always a pleasure to get to spend some time with yourself and Tanya. So, it's a great night.
And we'd like to introduce our very special guest today. He is the Melbourne City captain of the Power Chair wheelchair football team, Luke David. Luke, welcome, mate.
Thanks, Blake, and thanks everyone for having me on tonight.
That's all right, Luke. So, Luke is a part of one of the iterations here for Melbourne City for our community, one of our partners here. So, Luke, we'll start off with you, mate. You want to talk a little bit about the Power Chair football team?
Yeah, so I guess from where it started, Power Chair football was introduced in 2011 in Australia, and I was one of three players from Victoria that travelled to Sydney for the first workshop to learn about the sport. Um, it took a few years for us to get the sport running in Victoria. But in 2015, I approached Sue and Sydney in the community to establish the first power chair football team in Victoria. And that kind of started with me and one of my other teammates, Craig, who are big Melbourne Heart and Melbourne City supporters. And we wanted to represent the club in power chair football.
Yeah, I do happy to see you at every game, nearly every single home game, Luke and Craig, and they're big passionate fans. So Luke, so like I said before we started the show, Citizens for Recovery, we like to talk about inclusions. What does it mean for like someone like you to be included and all that kind of stuff?
It's hard to put into words because, I mean, before I started playing power chair sports, I was always very passionate about sport and going through like primary school and the early years at high school. I felt really excluded from a lot of sports programs because I didn't really know any other sports that I could really participate in. But now that I've learned about power chair sports and got involved with power chair football, my life has changed so much. Not only being able to compete in a sport that I really love and compete for a club that I love, it's helped me build so much confidence and helped me learn about team skills, leadership, and communication. So it's not just the sport aspect, but like the social aspect that I get so much out of it. And so many of our other players and players from other clubs get so much out of it too.
Exactly right there. And as we're Melbourne City is a big advocate for inclusion, do you have anything to say to anyone who might be a little bit scared in their situation to go out and do the sports?
Yeah, I mean, when I started, I just wanted to get straight into the sports. But I understand that some people might be a bit nervous or a bit anxious about getting involved in the sport. But I think it's really important to know that the sport itself is really safe to play. We've got referees and we've got rules that are in place to make the sport as safe as possible. And just the community is really welcoming as well. So I encourage anyone that's maybe a bit shy or a bit nervous to try it out, just to come down and check it out for 5 minutes. As soon as they see it, they're going to love it straight away. We find that once people actually come down to the sports and they see it in action, they see how amazing the sport is.
That is right. I have been down there and watched you guys once, and I can't wait till it starts back up again and I can come support the number one team in Victoria for power chair football. I'm going to pass you over to Talking Cities, Matt McIntyre. Matty, how are you, mate?
Oh, mate, always good. Just for those of us who may not have been able to see much power chair, can you give us a bit of an insight into how the sport works, what kind of some rules are, and how it happens?
Yeah. So the sport itself is played on an indoor basketball court. It's 4-on-4, but squads can be up to 8 players. It's a very one-on-one specific sport. So that there's it. I guess in replacement of the offside rule in what we call the running game, we have a rule that's called 2-on-1, which means that you can't have 2 players on the same team on the ball at one time. And this is to open up the court a lot, so it encourages passing and long shots for goal. In terms of like the ball and the equipment, the ball is probably double sized of a normal football. And in terms of how to move the ball around the court, we have these special metal guards that we mount onto our power chairs that then push the ball around the court. And to get the most speed and power on the ball when they try to pass and shoot, we usually do what we call is a spin kick. So we turn the chair at a really fast speed and they'll push the ball as fast as we can.
Wow, it's so cool.
Really cool. Yeah, I was just going to say the exact same thing.
Like, can I try that? Like, maybe I should come down one day and give it a go.
We have some spare power chairs that we have available for.
Oh, I would love to actually, like, maybe to come do like a training or something when I'm back next down in Melbourne. Once we're all, without the restrictions, I would love to actually give it a go.
I definitely recommend coming down. It's a lot harder than people think it is. I've been playing for 9-10 years now, and I still don't do as well as I want to. But it's so fun to try it out.
I did have like a quick question, like, what is like the highest scoring game that maybe you've played in so far? Like, is there any kind of records that get set or broken?
I mean, I'm a bit embarrassed to say that.
Don't be embarrassed.
I've been in some big losses over the years. And I think one of them was 2012-0 at the national competition. But hopefully in the next few years I'll be in some of those big wins, hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, fingers crossed on that side of things. In terms of if someone does want to come down and watch, especially for the Melbourne City side, to support our community, because that's what the club is, it's a community, what would be the best way to get involved? Is there a page that they can follow for regular updates or anything like that?
Yeah, definitely. So apart from me playing for Melbourne City, I'm also the president of Power Chair Sports Victoria. If people search for that on Facebook or our website, just type in Power Chair Sports Victoria and you'll be able to find all the information there. We welcome anyone to come down and just check out the sports. It's free to come and check it out. And if anyone has any like questions or concerns, they can always email me or message me on Facebook through Power Chair Sports Victoria as well.
Yeah, I personally can't wait. That'll be such a cool thing, and I think I can speak for a majority of the Talking City team that will definitely be making an effort to get out there and see what it's all about, because it's another part of the club that we want to support. Speaking of support, this year you played for someone other than Melbourne. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the season?
Yeah, so last year I played for Western Sydney Wanderers Power Chair team. I have quite a few friends over in New South Wales, and they reached out to me to get me onto a team for the New South Wales League. And that was a great experience for me because in Victoria, we're still quite low in player numbers, so it's hard to really get a big competition going here. So being able to travel interstate every week, although it was quite expensive and tiring to get over there, it was great to play against all these other clubs from New South Wales who probably are a bit more experienced than we are in Victoria. So I learned a lot from that experience. And the Western Sydney Wanderers really, they supported me heaps by going over there as well. So I'm grateful to them for giving me the opportunity. And I was hoping to go back this year as well, but because of COVID, I wasn't able to do that. But yeah, it was an amazing experience to travel every week for sport. I never thought I'd be able to do that when I was growing up. So yeah, it was pretty unreal.
And just in terms of the competition, can you give us an insight to the clubs that are involved? Obviously, Melbourne City, Western Sydney, I believe South Melbourne. Is there anyone else who's a major part of this?
Yeah, so in Victoria, we got South Melbourne as well in our competition. And we are hoping to have a third club come on board next season. In terms of like nationally, like Perth Glory have a team, Adelaide United, all New South Wales clubs have a power chair team as well. Queensland has 4 clubs as well on board. So the sport is growing quite rapidly around Australia and even across the world as well. I mean, it's played in over 30 countries now. And the next step is hopefully that we'll get the sport into the Paralympics, because at the moment there are currently no sports in the Paralympics that are available for power chair users. So I was going
to ask that. I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, so our fingers crossed that power chair football will be the first power chair sport to make it into the Paralympics. So that would be amazing for so many athletes in power chairs that don't get that recognition of the hard work that they put in to play the sport that they love.
Yeah, and I was also going to ask if we could possibly make a A-League power chair competition. I reckon that would be great as well. Get many fans out there across the nation to support this wonderful venture. Luke, I do have a few comments on the stream here. One from Terence Nicola. I think he's a part of the Melbourne City staff. To have a Melbourne City staff versus the power chair team game. Would you be up for that?
I'm down.
Let's make it happen.
Well, I'll talk to the higher ups at the club and see if we can get that going. I'm more than happy to jump in there. We could even try and get the Talking City boys to commentate on it for us.
Yeah,
I'm sure that we could come in and talk some dribble.
Talk some true. Also from Matthew Akehurst. Sorry if I butchered your name there. Great to see some City fans. Unfortunately, some of my soccer friends are Victory fans. So, Matthew, we'll always welcome you to a family. Welcome aboard. Ed Bondon, shout out again to you. Thank you for joining us. And your friend Craig Kilby said, well done, Luke David. So, a quick shout out to you there from Craig. I do have a few more questions, mate. How did you first find out about wheelchair football?
Yeah, so I think in probably late 2010, New South Wales were hosting a workshop for power chair football to get all the states to learn about the rules and skills. And that workshop actually had some players from the United States, France, and Japan, I think it was. And they travelled down to teach us all about sport. Because like 4 years prior to that, I think it was the first ever FIFA World Cup for power chair football. And I think they wanted to get more countries involved. So, in 2010, I found out about sport and I've been playing ever since.
Also, mate...
Is there any other powers... sorry, Blake.
I was literally about to ask the same question. Is there any more power chairs?
Like, was there any other... Yeah.
Besides football?
Any other sports? Yeah, there is. We also played power chair hockey. I was enough to be in the Australian team for that sport in 2018. So I travelled to Italy for the World Championships with 7 other Australian athletes, which was an amazing experience. It was the first time I'd ever been overseas. And to be able to play another sport that I love, it was truly amazing.
That's so cool.
good to represent.
There's no
your country.
boundaries here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so glad that you got to represent your country in one of these sports, Luke. I have another question for you, mate. With Melbourne City, of course. How do you find a community team, and what have you done with them besides with the power chair?
Yeah, so Sue and Abraham have been amazing supporters of our team. I want to shout out City in the Community and the Westpac Foundation because we recently got a grant a few months ago to help build the power chair football team. Unfortunately, because of COVID, we haven't been able to run some of the come and try events that we had planned. But hopefully, once lockdown is over, we'll be able to go to more areas around Melbourne and try and get some more players to join the team because we do struggle for numbers some rounds. And like for me personally, I'm a very competitive person and I want to win some games at the national competition. So we want to find those next generation of players to help us build a successful team.
Fair enough. And a question from Jan Coates. Is there any chance we can get games and results to be a part of the app and website, please? What I think you post results on your PowerChair Facebook page.
Yep,
also the website. So what I'll do after this live stream is, or Matt can do it, we can post it on the Talking City Facebook page to give more information about that. And I'll have a chat to the Melbourne City side and see if we can try and get that up as well. Luke, favourite experience with the power chair, wheelchair chair?
I mean, winning the premiership and the championship in Victoria last year was pretty amazing. The championship day went into extra time against South Melbourne, and I was lucky enough to score a goal in extra time to get the win. that was pretty amazing because we had quite a big crowd there for that match. So it was good to have some support and to get the crowd pretty enthusiastic.
Do you have a favourite goal celebration you do?
No, I'm not much of a celebrator when I score. I just want to get the win. So as soon as I score, I'm back in position and ready to finish the game off.
That's fair enough.
Has there been any outrageous celebrations though when anyone's ever scored?
Oh, I mean, some of the
besides, maybe doing a 180 and then putting your arms in the air. Has anything else ever happened?
I've definitely seen some great celebrations from international players at the World Cup. There's nothing that comes to mind, but some of the athletes that go to the World Cup for powerchair football, like seeing the passion and the excitement once they score a goal is just crazy. It's amazing.
Who's been your biggest competition, Luke?
Oh, in terms of a team or a player?
Player. We'll go player and team. We'll go both.
I think nationally, Queensland teams are always really hard to play against, and also New South Wales. In terms of players, Sean Mott from South Melbourne, we have a bit of a rivalry going. We're very close friends off the court, but on the court, we like to give it to each other. Nationally, I don't know. I don't like to have competition against my own friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, I reckon Sean Mott, definitely.
Sean Mott. Matt, you got any other questions?
No, I just can't wait to actually get out there and give it a go and see it for myself, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, and so I enjoyed it the first time I went down there, and actually going back in my childhood at Cedar, we did wheelchair football, the one with the band, and that was quite fun, but power chair football sounded a lot more fun with that. So let's go over to the A-League real quick. Luke, how did you enjoy this season from the Melbourne City team?
Yeah, I loved it. We had a really good season. It was unfortunate that we couldn't win the grand final, but I know the guys put in 100% effort. I'm really excited for the new season. I think hopefully we can take it one step further.
Yeah.
Get that grand final then. And it'd be great to just be able to attend the game as well. I really miss getting out into the community and seeing Melbourne City play. I mean, stuck at home since March, pretty much in isolation. So as soon as we get out, I'll be waiting to see the guys play again.
Who's your
I
favorite?
think you were we were meant to do like a little match before that last home game at the Wanderers. You guys were going to do something like on the mezzanine level, but unfortunately it was cancelled. I was so looking forward to that. So I'm hoping that maybe when we get people back into the stadium, you could probably do something before a game, because that would be really fun for everyone to see.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. We had the whole Western Sydney Wanderers team come down that weekend, and unfortunately we couldn't do the demo, but hopefully next time we'll be out there at Amy Park and getting people involved and showing off our skills on power chair football.
Yeah, especially I was seeing you getting prepared, Luke, because you were sending messages during the week going, I can't wait.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, I wasn't going to be there due to the F1, but that got cancelled. I'm like, yes, I can go see Luke and the boys, and then I was a little upset. Who's your favourite player from the club?
Probably Jamie McLaren.
Jamie, yeah.
I think definitely Jamie, yeah. He's a pretty awesome player.
Yeah. Matty, you got a special question you'd like to ask everyone? Let's ask Luke it as well.
You want to ask Luke? Okay.
Yeah.
So Luke, you've got two options here. You got to pick one. Would you rather fight one Jamo-sized spider? So for reference, is 173 centimeters, or would you rather fight 1,000 spider-sized Jamos?
Oh, yeah, that's a tough one. Probably 1,000 sized. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spider-sized
You can just
Jamo.
run them over. You can just run them straight over. That's what you could do.
That's a very good point. I definitely go with that one.
And when you've got your football power chair as well, even more.
Yeah.
You've got that bar at the front. I'm getting morbid now. Oh my gosh.
Come on, Tanya. Luke, again, inclusion in football is really important to the club, and we do welcome you aboard and love to see. Is there anything you want to say to the people watching or the people who watch later on about wheelchair football? This is your time to promote. Anything you'd like to say, go for it, buddy.
Oh, okay. You're putting me on the spot here. But no, I encourage anyone that wants to get involved in our team, our City Power Chair team, or just Power Chair Sports Victoria in general. Just get in contact with me, check out our website, and get involved. Like, you don't have to be a player, you can volunteer, do some coaching, just come and support the team when we play. If you have the time, just come down and support the team. So I know that all of my teammates and everyone in our team would really appreciate the support.
I actually challenged the Terrace to get down there one night and go down there and give them some support and chant the team on. And so the Terrace, I think they're called the City Terrace now. I challenge you to go down one night and give these boys some courage. I'm sure they will love some chant.
That would be amazing, yeah.
And Matt, Tanya, any other questions?
No, I've got nothing else. I think we asked them all. I'm excited. Like, I actually want to give Power Chair a go. I want to verse all of you. Want to train first, then verse all of you and see what happens. I'm very competitive.
Lukey, what's your number, by the way? What do you have on the back of your chair?
23, which is my birthday. Yeah.
So I was going to ask the reasoning behind that. Well, Lukey, I'm pretty sure everyone who's watching is now intrigued. I will try and set it up that City Star versus the Melbourne City Power Chair team game with the support of Talking City, of course. So we'd like to thank you for your time tonight. I know it's a little bit short, but I do have one final question from me. If you could verse any Melbourne City or anyone in the world, in a power chair football match, who would your dream opponent be?
Oh,
Good question.
yeah. I don't know actually. Maybe Scott Jefferson.
Scotty Gemma. I'll put the challenge. I'll put the challenge out there for you. I'll send him this.
All right,
So
yeah.
here we go.
He can be on the staff team.
He can be on the staff team. Look, here's your chance to call out Scott Jemison right now. I will cut it down and I'll send it to him. What do you have to say to Scott?
Scotty, I think if you got into a power chair against me, I think you would have no chance. So I'd like to see you attempt it. So come down to one of our matches and we'll see how it goes.
There you go, Scott. You've been challenged, mate.
Yeah, you heard that, Gemma. You heard that. He's coming for you.
He's coming for you, mate. He wants that. He wants to show who's the number one captain at Melbourne City. Indeed. So, Lukey, again, thank you so much for your time tonight. We really do appreciate it. I wish we had more questions for you, man. You explained everything.
You explained everything too well.
Yeah, so
like, too well.
Is there? I've already asked your favourite moment, but is there a favourite rule that you like in power chair football?
I mean, I do like the 2-on-1 rule because it makes the game so open.
Yeah.
And it promotes that passing kind of style of play. Because I know from like the first few years that we learned about the sport, a lot of the game was just dribbling the ball up and down the court. Whereas the last few years where more and more players around Australia and internationally have got the specific power chair football power chair, which is faster and turns quicker. It's a lot more passing oriented. So some of the goals that you see at like national competitions or international competitions are amazing because the ball just flinging from one side to the other at such a quick speed. Yeah, it's amazing to see. So I think probably 2-on-1 rule. Yeah, definitely 2-on-1 rule.
Yeah. Are the referees fair, or are they Chris Beefworthy, or are they really, really fair?
No, the referees have always been pretty good at competitions. Yeah, I've had no complaints against anyone. And my partner actually referees some of our matches in Victoria, and she does a pretty good job.
So shout out to Lukey's partner there. Thank you for your support there. Yeah, so Lukey, again, thank you so much for your support. We really do appreciate you coming on, having a chat with us. We learned so much about wheelchair football, and I believe that some people in Manchester are going to be watching this. So awesome. If you want to say anything to them right now, go for it.
Hello, Manchester City. Thanks for watching our video. I'm pretty sure there's actually a Manchester City power chair football team. I don't know too much about it, but I think all the support that power chair football is getting around the world is pretty amazing. And to see what all of our players, not just from Victoria, Australia, but around the world and in the UK, is just amazing. I know the Wheelchair Football Association over in the UK is really big at the moment. I think they've got like 20 teams, 2 different competitions. And that's where we want to get to down here in Melbourne.
Okay, so again, thank you, Luke. We hope you enjoy the rest of your night, and we can't wait to get down there and give power chair football a go.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Luke.
Thanks, Luke.
Thanks, Luke. Okay, so guys, again, we are going to be doing the raffle. It's going to be extended to the end of the month. So in the link down below is the raffle. Please make sure you get in there. $20 will get you 1 ticket. All the way up to $100 will get you 9 tickets. That will give you the chance to see the boys train and have lunch with them at the CFA. Also, as I switch screens here, we have our trivia night on tomorrow night. You have till the end of tonight.
Who's in?
I'm one of the hosts for one of the sections, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. I hope you've got your team ready.
No, I can't actually come. I have something on tomorrow night, but I saw that maybe A-League Memes might have a team. Talking City, you're doing a team, aren't you?
I personally can't. I have a work event on, which is great timing. I think Rennie was looking at one, so there is quite possibly going to be some Talking City representation, and hopefully not embarrass us.
And we also do have Melbourne City A-League captain Scott Jemison joining us on the night as well. $15 a ticket. That's all you need.
What's the trivia going to be about? Is it just Melbourne City trivia?
So it's going to be football.
It's going to be football. That question.
Yeah. So the trivia questions are going to be football related. Even the general knowledge questions are going to be football related.
Good to know.
It is all revolving around football. I'm sure, Lukey, if you had a chance, you would jump in on that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm terrible at trivia. Yeah, definitely.
So again, we'll $15 for a ticket, guys. Registrations are open until tomorrow afternoon with a kickoff time at 7:30 tomorrow with Captain Scott Jemison joining us as well. We still have like I said, our raffle is still on there. But also, guys, we have our donation. Every donation, again, will be doubled by the CFG. And we have until the end of the month. Again, thank you so much for all your support. So that's the end of tonight's show. I really, again, thank you, Luke, for joining us. I hope you had a good time.
Yeah, it's amazing. I really appreciate being invited to join the podcast tonight. And it's great to see the support for Powerchair Football and for the Melbourne City Powerchair Football team.
Yeah, and Matt and Tanya, always a pleasure as always. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Blake. Always enjoy it.
So
I look forward to this every week. I don't want this to end because I miss you guys when we're not together. So my one Thursday is when I get to be all happy.
To donate is in the link down below. Talking City will also promote the link as well. So it's always on there. So from Blake Edison on behalf of Tanya Davis at Instagram. On behalf of Luke Davis, you can find him on Facebook and also on the Powerchair Facebook page and website. And Talking City FC exclusive producer, I'm calling you that for now on, mate. Matt McAdoe. I've been young leader Blake Henderson. Good night.